it's Rachel with Rachel's Remedies, and today I just want to do, hopefully it's a quick video about the ketogenic diet. We get a lot of questions about the ketogenic diet, and so I just wanted to answer some of those. What is the ketogenic diet? So, and before I go any further, my next video may be about bread making. So we have a large family. We have 5 children. My husband and I are strict about the diet. I'm not strict for my children. So in future episodes, I'll be showing you how to make granola, how to make bread, and I am totally okay with that for the kids. The ketogenic diet, the history of the ketogenic diet is it's been around since the early 50s, maybe the late 40s. It was called the epileptic diet. The brain responds really well to this diet. They discovered the diet, and if you had epilepsy, you would do a ketogenic diet and you would not have seizures. So in the 90s, there was a man whose son had epilepsy, and he wanted to find a natural cure or something he could do. Did the diet, and his son never had another episode after that. So it's the epileptic diet. And since then, though, more and more and more people are realizing, and scientists are finding out, and brain scientists and athletic people who study physiology and athletics, that carbs are actually detrimental for our health. Too many carbs are detrimental for our health. And so the ketogenic diet is a high fat, medium protein, low carb diet. The medium protein is very important. If you go too high on your protein, then it will turn to sugar. If you have 50 pounds or more to lose, this diet is probably a good diet for you. It's good to have your doctor check your vital statistics and have someone kind of checking your blood along the way, because there may be supplements that you'll need. Like, I need magnesium on this diet. I think everyone needs magnesium on this diet, but I'm athletic, and so magnesium is very important on this diet. And if I only took one vitamin on this diet, it would be magnesium. What is the science behind the diet? More and more scientists are researching this. A good thing to do when you're on the diet is to listen to podcasts. Make a goal to listen to a podcast at least once a week. There's Jimmy Moore and the Doc is a great, and they will answer those questions. And through listening to podcasts, you'll get a good education on kind of wrapping your mind around the diet. A diet with high fat is questionable, to say the least. We've been taught for so many years that fat is bad for you, and so when you go ketogenic. So when you go ketogenic, the first 2 or 3 weeks for a man and maybe 4 to 6 weeks for a woman, your body is changing gears. It's going from being a sugar burner to a fat burner, and it's almost like internally a dial is switching from burning sugar to burning fat, burning glucose. So you may feel kind of sluggish when you work out. You may, like I felt very sluggish on my first few runs after being on it for about a week. One day I got a headache and nauseous, and I knew that my body was either sloughing off something or I just went to bed that day. And then after that, I felt really great, and I'm stronger than I've ever been. About 6 weeks. So very, very quickly you will find your strength, your endurance, because when you're a sugar burner, you burn, your fuel runs out. Like if you have an apple or granola or oatmeal for breakfast, about 2 hours later you burn through that fuel. Your body does not recognize that you have fat. It wants to burn this glucose for fuel. When you go from burning glucose to burning fat, if you have eggs with a butter sauce for breakfast and you burn through the eggs and you burn through the butter sauce, 6 hours later, your body, because it's now burning fat for fuel, it'll just burn your own fat. So you're not as hungry. The first thing a lot of people notice on the ketogenic diet is they're not as hungry. They're satiated. They feel full after meals. You won't need to snack as much. Ketogenic cooking is a great way to get started on the diet. You're going to have, it's nice because you'll have regular meals, just seasonings and sauces, and just don't be afraid. Pick a couple meals that sound kind of good, and just start with things that are easy for you and make sense to you. But then don't be afraid to go to Whole Foods and say, I've never heard of fish sauce. Just a couple of ingredients that you might need These are things that we didn't have in our pantry when we started the ketogenic diet. So just to let you know some of the things that we use. This is our basket of Stir. Stir is a flavored stevia. They're super yummy. This one's simply strawberry watermelon. There's 0 calories. You can put a few drops in your water if you want it to taste like Kool-Aid. Or if you're hungry at night, this is what we do is we make a little snow cone and we put our Stir in there, and it flavors it and makes it real, bright colored. We didn't have Stir before. I don't have the packaging for our Swerve. Swerve you can find at Whole Foods. It's basically erythritol. You can get a 5-pound bag of erythritol on Amazon for I think $28 in the blender, on a high blender for a minute, or until you see powder coming out of the top of the blender a little bit, then you'll know it's coconut vinegar. If you get Maria Emmerich's cookbook, you will need coconut vinegar almost every recipe. Coconut vinegar. Instead of chips, we do chicharrones. This is a cute little bag that was probably $5 or something from Whole Foods. These are chicharrones. These are pork rinds. This is our big container from Costco for $5. MCT oil, you're going to see that a lot. If you haven't heard of it, this is like the secret ingredient of, one of the secret ingredients of the ketogenic diet. It's one of the first things you want to buy. You can get it at Vitamin Shop, or you can go to Amazon.com. MCT oil is derived from coconut oil, but it's basically it's coconut, amazing oil that your liver burns through in 20 seconds. It's used immediately by your body. It boosts your brain power. If you haven't heard of bulletproof coffee, this is what you make bulletproof coffee with: MCT oil and some organic grass-fed butter. You work up slowly. You start out with like a teaspoon a day, and you can work up to 2 tablespoons a day. You can put it in your coffee. If you're trying to kick caffeine, which I would on this diet, do a decaf Nespresso, MCT oil, blend it with some butter. That's yum. Flour is one of the flours you can use. This one is my daughter's favorite because it's so soft and white. I just grab it. If I see almond flour at the supermarket and I'm not sure if I have it, I just grab it. The main thing I make with almond flour, I make these mini cheesecakes. I have them on hand all the time. This is for the crust. Coconut aminos. I love some of the recipes in Maria Emmerich's cookbook. She always does. Every so many recipes, she has kind of an Asian flair. And the coconut aminos is instead of like, soy products or whatever. Okay, your salt on this diet is super important. I would say number one are your MCT oil, and you're slowly going to figure out how to work this in because you can't cook with it. It has to be eaten cold, or you can put it in coffee, but you just ingest it right away. Your salt is very important because you're getting a lot of minerals from that salt. I like the Himalayan pink salt. And that's the main salt I cook with. In the morning I make a little drink and I put Celtic Sea Salt in there. Be very mindful of what salt you're using. Oh, it smells so good. This is a tea, probably from Teavana. Just some kind of nice little decaf berry tea. Hibiscus tea is really high in vitamin C. It's just nice to have something to drink besides just water and in that. But organic decaf tea is yummy. So those are some of the little ingredients on keto we didn't necessarily use before or eat before, and now they're a big part of our pantry. Just wanted to let you know those are things that you may not have in your pantry. I hope this helps you. It would have helped me if someone had told me before the first day I want to cook and I realized I don't have any of these things. When you make your bacon, I make my bacon once a week. I make a big batch and I save it. I cut some up and put that in a container in the fridge, and then I leave some long, and then I save the bacon grease, and I have them all separate. So every recipe that calls for bacon, I just grab my bacon out of the fridge, add that. If it calls for paleo fat, I have my bacon grease in another container, and I just put a tablespoon on the griddle, and bam, I have my paleo fat. So I hope this helps you. Have a great time on your diet. Make sure you look up keto. On your iPhone, there's a little purple app. It says podcasts. If you've never tuned in to podcasts, just hit on that app and just put in the word keto and all these podcasts. I hope you enjoyed this. little dissertation on the ketogenic diet. I hope it's inspired you. Like, subscribe, and next time, pretty soon, as soon as I see our first scorpion, I will be doing edible pest control. So great. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.